Welcome back to the Foundry by Forge College. So if you've been following along in our blockchain fundamentals track, you just wrapped up our explainer on how seed phrases work. You know all about that beautiful deterministic math that turns a simple list of words into the keys controlling your crypto assets. But today, we're tackling something just as vital: how to practically secure that math out in the real world. Because let's be honest, letting your dog accidentally eat your life savings, yeah, that's not exactly a top-tier investment strategy. So today, we are going to build your ultimate security blueprint. Okay, let's look at the agenda for our architectural blueprint. First, we'll define the ultimate master key, then compare storage media like paper, metal, and digital. After that, we'll map out your personal threat model, apply it to real-world security scenarios, and finally run through safe recovery verification. All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, the ultimate master key. Treat it like a vault. I need you to completely shift your mindset for a second. A seed phrase is not a password. It's not something you can just click forgot password to reset if you happen to lose it. Your seed phrase is the vault door itself. By definition, a master key is a single object where any unauthorized copy grants full, irreversible access. Think about what that actually means. If someone gets a copy of your seed phrase, boom, they have your vault. They don't need your permission, and they don't need your physical device. The assets are just gone. On the flip side, if you lose all of your copies, your vault disappears into the digital void forever. There is literally no customer service hotline you can call to fix it. And this brings us to the core tension of seed phrase security. It's a constant tug of war between redundancy, which is preventing loss through duplication, and secrecy, preventing theft through minimization. It's a really delicate balancing act. See, if you make 50 copies of your seed phrase and hide them everywhere, your redundancy is amazing. You're never going to lose it. But your secrecy is absolutely terrible, because now you've drastically increased the chances that your nosy roommate, a burglar, or a contractor working on your house finds one of those copies. We have to balance preventing loss with preventing theft. Moving on to Section 2, storage media, paper, metal, and digital. You can't just type this phrase into a regular notes app on your phone and call it a day. We have to look at the actual physical materials we use to forge this key. When you compare the trade-offs, the differences are pretty stark. Look at paper. A handwritten copy is super cheap, it's easy, and it has practically zero operational complexity. But its durability? Terrible. It burns, it fades, water destroys it completely. Now, contrast that with metal, like a stamped steel plate. Insanely high durability. It'll survive a house fire. But it requires a specialized kit. Then you have encrypted digital storage, like an air-gapped USB drive. It's basically a locked digital cabinet. Very secure if handled right, but it's highly complex. And if you happen to forget your encryption password, well, you've essentially locked yourself out of your own vault. Section 3, your personal threat model. Know your enemy. Now, know your enemy sounds a bit like spy jargon, I know, but it's actually incredibly practical. Before we build a bunker, we need to figure out who the bad guys actually are. Seriously, ask yourself, what are you actually defending against here? Are you protecting a $50 test wallet from a clumsy coffee spill? Or maybe your dog eating your homework? Or are you protecting life-changing wealth from targeted burglary and Hollywood-level hackers? By the way, exploring some of the other courses we offer here at Forge College is a fantastic way to understand those broader Web3 security threats. But for right now, just remember, your defense needs to match your actual threat. Let's move to Section 4, real-world security scenarios. It's time to match threat to defense. I like to call this the Goldilocks approach to security. We want protection that is just right. You definitely do not need a multi-million-dollar laser grid defense system to protect a wallet that barely holds enough crypto to buy a sandwich. Let's look at Scenario A, the everyday user with modest holdings. Your main threats are accidental loss and maybe a snooping roommate. So your blueprint is simple: a primary paper copy, clearly written, sealed in an envelope, and kept in a locked drawer. Then, a secondary paper copy stored in a small lockbox at a trusted friend or family member's home. This low-overhead approach is absolutely perfect. It gives you redundancy against an everyday accident without making things wildly complicated. But what if you step it up to Scenario B, the frequent trader? Now you have moderate assets, and your threats include things like phishing and targeted theft. Paper is just not going to cut it anymore. Your blueprint upgrades to a hardware wallet to keep your keys offline. For backups, you're moving to fire-resistant metal engravings. You keep one metal backup in a fireproof safe at home and a secondary metal backup geographically off-site, like in a bank deposit box. You are minimizing your digital exposure while maximizing physical resilience. And finally, we have Scenario C, the long-term holder with high value. Here, we're worried about sophisticated attacks and major natural disasters. This requires a highly hardened approach. We are talking 2 to 3 geographically separated metal backups. You might even use secret sharing, which is also known as sharding. It's kind of like ripping a treasure map into 3 pieces, where you need at least 2 pieces to put it all back together. No single location holds the full master key, drastically reducing the risk of a single point of failure or theft. Section 5. Safe Recovery Verification. Time for safe recovery checks. Because here's a terrifying thought. What if you go through all this effort and your backup doesn't actually work? You have to test that your master key actually turns the lock. Step 1. Prepare an empty, completely disconnected environment. Think a brand new, unused hardware wallet or a spare phone in airplane mode. Step 2. Restore your backup using your seed phrase. Step 3. Confirm that the derived public addresses, meaning the actual wallet accounts it generates, match your known accounts. And listen to me carefully here. You only ever test a master key on a dummy lock. Never ever enter your seed phrase into a random website or a networked computer just to test it. If you do that, you're exposing live funds, and your vault is going to be emptied immediately. Okay, let's wrap up this design session with our conclusion and key takeaways. So, the absolutely crucial point here is that securing your seed phrase isn't about buying the most expensive gadget on the market. It's about thoughtful architecture. Here are your 3 golden rules. 1. Match your protection to the actual threat. Don't overcomplicate a small wallet, and definitely don't underprotect a large one. 2. Minimize full duplicates. Every single time you copy that entire phrase, you create a new attack vector, so keep full copies to an absolute minimum. And 3. Verify backups before trusting them, because an untested backup is just a hope, and hope is a terrible security strategy. Next up, preparing for your first wallet setup. With these rules in your back pocket, you are fully empowered for what comes next. In our next explainer, we're going to put this exact blueprint into action. So I want you to gather your chosen materials right now, whether you've decided on good old paper and a pen, or you went ahead and ordered a solid metal stamping kit. We are going to prepare for your very first wallet setup, and you'll be doing it with total confidence. I want to leave you with this final thought today. Does your security blueprint match the actual value of your vault? Really take a hard look at how you're currently storing things. If you want to master more Web3 concepts and make sure your foundations are rock solid, head over to forge.college and check out the rest of our learning resources. Until next time, stay secure, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next explainer.